Hi guys, I'm Rick. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I make a pressure cooker beef barley soup. Alright, I'm starting out with a 1.5 pound top sirloin steak that I've already trimmed some fat off of, the excess fat. And I'm going to cut this up into little cubes for in our beef barley soup. You could also use the already packaged beef cubes, or you could even cut up a small beef roast for this. Just I got this steak on a good deal, and I fried 2 of these up last night for supper, and they were really good. And my dogs are going crazy for this right now. Okay, now that I have all my beef cut up into bite-sized pieces, in my 8-quart pressure cooker, I'm going to go ahead and add in some vegetable oil. And I'm going to add in roughly about 3 tablespoons. And I have this preheating, if I didn't say that already. And I'm going to wait for that oil to get good and hot. Then I'll add my beef in. You could also use an electric pressure cooker for this if you like, but I haven't used my stovetop one for a while, so I decided to use this one. Right now that my oil's good and hot, I'm going to go ahead and add that beef in. And I'm going to fry this until the beef's all brown. And I'm going to add some salt and pepper in on it to season it up. Right now that my beef is brown, I'm going to add 4 cups of water in here. And I'm going to seal my pressure cooker up. And I'm going to seal this up. Put it down on there. Make sure this is on the sealed, pressurized setting. And I'm going to bring this up to pressure and then turn it down on a low pressure, and let it pressure cook for 20 minutes. Alright, while my beef is pressure cooking over here, I went ahead and sliced up a stalk of celery and a large onion into pieces. I'm going to put in my handy chopper here. You could also dice these up by hand if you like, but I'm going to do it the easy way today. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and dice up my celery, and I cut this down into pieces that'll fit in here comfortably, and I cut them a little narrow so they're not such long pieces. And I'll do an onion quick here. I have my celery and onion all chopped up and set aside, and I have 6 small russet potatoes here. I'm leaving the skins on. I sliced them thin enough and small enough to fit in here, and I swapped out the small blade for a larger one. And I'm just going to go ahead and dice up these potatoes. I guess I'm going to do them one at a time. And this will make them perfect size. I keep finding your canned soups, little dices, or julienne, or however you want to say it. Alright, my 20 minutes are up and my beef is done pressure cooking, and I did a quick release on that pressure, so let's go ahead and open this up. You always want to open this away from you so you don't get burned. Alright, now I'm going to add in here, before I put in my vegetables, I'm going to season up this stock. I have a 4-cup box of beef stock. I'm going to add that in there, and I'm going to turn my heat back on high. And I'm going to add some water in here also. This is 4 cups of water. I'm going to go ahead and add all of that in there. And I think I'm going to add a little more water. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add in 4 more cups of water. So that's a total of 12 cups of water. 4 cups of water we put in the beginning with the beef cubes. And we put 8 more in, and I put in 4 cups of beef stock. I'm going to bring this up to a boil, and as it comes up to a boil, I'm going to season it. Right now that my broth is starting to warm up enough that I can start seasoning it, I have some beef base here. You can find this at Walmart. If you don't have this or can't get it, you can use beef bouillon cubes. And 1 teaspoon equals 1 beef bouillon cube, or 8 ounces of beef stock. So I'm going to start out with about 4 of them, because there's a lot of liquid in here. And I went ahead and tasted that, and it's a little bland. I should say a lot bland. Okay, that was 3. And I have another jar here that I bought, so not to worry, I'm not going to run out. Alright, there goes 4 of them. And you want to be careful with this, because this stuff is super concentrated and powerful. You don't want to over season it. I have a clean teaspoon here. I'm going to stir this in good, and I'm going to give this a taste test. see where we're at. I'll stir this up quick to make sure I get all that dissolved in there. Alright, let me give this a taste. It's starting to come together, but it's not quite there. I'm going to go ahead and throw 2 more in and taste it. And it's better to do this gradually than go gung-ho and overdo it right away. Alright, now I'm going to stir this up and taste that. And there's still a large glob of that in there. It needs to dissolve, so I'll dissolve that in there before I go and taste it. Okay, let me give that a taste. Yeah, that's tasting good. Now I'm going to add a little bit of salt to this, not much, just a little bit. I'm going to put a teaspoon in. And we'll see where we're at with that. I'll taste it. That's tasting good there. And I just want to take a second to thank all of my viewers like Melissa, Juan Leo, Ray Mac. I can't think of the rest, but you know who you are and I really appreciate you. Alright, I'm going to throw 1 bay leaf in here. I'm going to throw in my onion and celery. I'm also going to add in a little more pepper. And I'm going to throw in my diced potatoes. I'm going to seal this up. Bring it up to pressure, and I'm going to pressure cook this on high pressure for 4 minutes. Okay, my vegetables are done pressure cooking, and I said I was going to let them go for 4 minutes, but I actually let them go for 2 because they're diced so fine, I don't want them to turn to mush. Alright, now before I add in the rest of my ingredients, I have some flour water here, a slurry, that I pre-sifted. I'm going to add a little bit in here, just to give a little volume, volume to this stock. And that's roughly about a half a cup of that. Alright. Now the rest is going to be done as a regular pot. We're done pressure cooking. Alright, now I was going to add corn in this, but me like a dum-dum, I grabbed a can of creamed corn, and I don't think that would go very well in here. So I have about a half a cup of frozen spinach here I'm adding in. And I have some frozen peas and carrots. I'm going to add them in there. This here is a 2-cup bag. I'm going to add half of that in there. Now I'm going to add my barley in. I have 1 cup of barley here, and a little bit of barley goes a long way. I'm going to give this a stir. When this comes up to a boil, I'm going to cook it on medium-low for roughly about 10 minutes. Then everything should be cooked through and it should be ready to go. Alright, my soup is done. It actually took 15 minutes for that barley to cook because I have it turned down so low. So let's go ahead and serve up a bowl and see what we got. Alright, there you have it. Pressure cooker beef barley soup. Give this a try. I think you'll like it. And until next time, I'll see you.